Welcome back to Car Vibes, the place where horsepower meets hype. And today we're diving into something that's been lighting up conversations across the car world, the new 2026 Dodge Challenger SRT. Dodge has officially taken the wraps off the next generation of American muscle, and while the brand has been steering toward electrification in recent years, the 2026 Challenger SRT shows they haven't forgotten what made the name legendary. This car is a fusion of old-school attitude and new-school engineering, and whether you're a die-hard Mopar fan or just someone who appreciates a machine built for thrills, this is one you'll want to hear about. The first thing that grabs your attention is the design. Dodge didn't do a complete reboot. Instead, they sculpted the shape into something sharper, more aerodynamic, but still unmistakably a Challenger. The wide stance is even more aggressive, the hood lines are deeper, and the LED headlights have that mean, half-squinting look like the car is sizing up a rival at a stoplight. Dodge says they wanted the 2026 RT to feel like a modern interpretation of 1970s muscle, and you really see that in the long hood, short rear deck, and the pronounced fender curves. It's upgraded, but familiar in the best way. Air management also gets a huge boost. Functional vents, an active grille that adapts to temperature and speed, and an underbody that's been reshaped to reduce drag without killing the car's iconic boxy presence. But let's be real, what everyone wants to know is what's under the hood. Dodge had the world guessing for months about whether they'd stick with internal combustion or go all in on electrification. The answer: they decided to give us both. The 2026 Challenger SRT comes standard with a high-output twin-turbo V6 hybrid system. But the big news, the one keeping the V8 lovers cheering, is the optional Helleon V8, a newly engineered power plant using updated forced induction tech and optimized fuel mapping to meet modern regulations while still delivering monstrous power. Dodge says the plug-in hybrid V6 variant produces around 540 horsepower, giving it enough punch to embarrass plenty of V8s from a decade ago. But the V8 SRT model, that's rumored to push north of 760 horsepower, depending on configuration. Dodge hasn't given the exact numbers yet, but insiders say it's their most advanced muscle car engine ever, and the car community is already buzzing with dyno predictions. Performance-wise, the 2026 RT is built to do more than just go fast in a straight line. The new chassis is stiffer, the suspension system is completely reworked with adaptive dampers, and the rear differential uses smart torque distribution to keep the car planted during hard cornering. Dodge knows their critics love to say muscle cars can't handle, but they've clearly set out to prove otherwise with this new generation. Early track tests hint at significantly improved balance, allowing the car to rotate more naturally through curves, while still giving you the signature SRT brute force acceleration when you punch the throttle. There's also a track boost mode in the hybrid variant that temporarily increases electric assist for short bursts of added power, something old-school muscle purists might roll their eyes at, but once you feel it, you'll understand why it's there. The sound is another part of the experience Dodge wasn't willing to compromise on. For the hybrid model, they developed a completely new exhaust system that integrates the electric output without muting the engine's voice. Meanwhile, the V8 SRT features what Dodge calls a variable thunder exhaust, which uses active valves and redesigned piping to produce that deep throat rumbling growl fans expect, with the added ability to quiet things down when cruising. Dodge claims it's the most natural-sounding performance exhaust they've ever engineered, and even though emissions rules continue to tighten, they've somehow kept that raw, unmistakable Challenger bark alive. Climbing inside, the 2026 Challenger SRT feels like a big leap forward in technology while still offering muscle car simplicity. Dodge revamped the cabin with premium materials, bucket seats with deeper bolstering, and an optional performance steering wheel that integrates tactile drive mode controls. The digital gauge cluster is fully customizable, letting you switch between classic analog-style animations, a performance telemetry view, or an electrified hybrid monitor depending on your setup. A massive center touchscreen dominates the dash and runs updated software with quicker responses, better navigation, and more seamless smartphone integration. But perhaps the coolest feature is the Performance Hub, a digital space where you can view power delivery, internal temps, G-forces, and even record drag runs that save automatically to your device. Dodge knows today's drivers want both raw power and data to back up the bragging rights. Another interesting addition to the 2026 RT lineup is the new driver assist system. Muscle car fans sometimes cringe at the idea of electronic intervention, but Dodge kept things focused on safety without taking away control. You still get full control over throttle, braking, and steering feel in performance modes, but daily driving becomes much more relaxed thanks to features like adaptive cruise, blind spot detection, lane awareness, and improved collision protection. Dodge says they want the Challenger to remain an everyday, usable car for people who don't just want a weekend toy, but something that can handle regular commutes without sacrificing attitude. Customization also plays a huge role this year. Dodge is bringing back a wider range of colors, including modern metallics and classic style heritage shades. They've expanded the stripe packages, added more wheel options, and even introduced aero kits for track enthusiasts who want more downforce right from the factory. The interior has new stitching patterns, carbon fiber trim choices, and a darker overall theme meant to match the aggressive exterior redesign. Dodge knows SRT buyers love making their car feel uniquely theirs, and the 2026 lineup embraces that more than ever. So what does the new Challenger SRT mean for the future of muscle cars? Dodge seems to be positioning this car as proof that high-performance machines can evolve without losing their soul. The hybrid setup isn't a replacement for the V8, it's an alternative that adds more variety to the lineup. The improved handling, tech upgrades, and efficiency improvements show that Dodge understands the changing automotive landscape, but refuses to let the era of American muscle fade out quietly. Instead, they're pushing into a future where raw power and modern engineering coexist. For fans who feared the Challenger name might disappear or be transformed beyond recognition, the 2026 model feels like a promise that Dodge is still committed to making cars that excite the senses and ignite that adrenaline spark. Whether you're drawn to the hybrid's futuristic punch or the V8's classic ferocity, the new SRT is shaping up to be one of the most talked about performance cars of the decade. Thanks for hanging out with Car Vibes today. If you love deep dives into the hottest rides and upcoming machines in the automotive world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a vibe. Let me know in the comments, are you Team Hybrid, Team V8, or Team I'll take both? Until next time, keep the engines loud and the vibes strong.